Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. We're continuing our run today and a couple things to talk about, nothing big, mostly my own personal stuff. We're also taking the newly and fully upgraded Iveco Stralis here. And we are picking up our trailer because I wanted to drive the Iveco. So yeah, a few things I want to touch base about today. Number one being the news lately. As many of you may know, a German airliner went down in a mountainous area, and it was the no survivors kind of crash. Now that in of and by itself, bad enough. Yeah? It's tragic. All those people have lost their lives, and, you know, just a horrific thing. I happen to be walking by the television my mother-in-law watches in the living room, just as they were talking about this. And the caster said something that, quite honestly, made me angry. Now, what did the caster say that could have riled me up so much? Well, it's real simple. He was talking about the loss of lives, and you better believe before I go on, I'm going to clean my computer tomorrow. I haven't done it today. I've got a lot of things I need to do. I need to clean up my wife's computer in terms of her hard drive, because she has some spyware on, not spyware, but adware on there. And I got to clean up my computer physically. I've got to get the dust off it. I've waited too long, so that's happening tomorrow. And yeah, that's just all stuff that's happening. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. Sorry. The news. What the newscaster was doing. He's talking about the loss of lives and how tragic it was. And the words that came out of his mouth that I heard were, there were 200 some people lost, I think. And he said there were 16 babies, I forget how many children, and I think he said like 3 Americans. And I actually froze in my tracks, looked at the TV in disgust. Because this is a tactic used by the news called sensationalism. Or at least that's what I've heard it called. Maybe people have other terms for it, maybe there's an official term for it. It's where you take an already tragic or powerful news story and push an aspect of it to be even more than what it is. In this case, the tragic part. And this is used to garner reactions and in hopes to garnering ratings. And it is a very horrible thing for the news to do. There was no need to specifically point out that there were 16 babies on board. There was no need to point out there were X amount of children on board. And there was no need to point out how many Americans were on board. Everybody on that plane lost their life, and everyone is as important as everyone else on that plane. But in order to garner a more powerful reaction, and in order to hopefully get more ratings by presenting a more compelling news story, they chose to mention those specific things, and I find it disgusting. The news is less about reporting the news, and it has been for a long time, and it's more about getting ratings at all costs. That's why I really don't like things beyond local news. I just want to know what happens around me locally, and I'll go with a local newscaster more than a big-time newscaster. But even then, it's still kind of iffy. I don't trust CNN for the life of me. I don't trust most news nowadays. I really don't. But that's just how I am personally, and it's for reasons like this. It's for sensationalism. And it's for things like this that don't need to be done. Just earlier today, I walked by the TV as they were talking about the plane crash again. And the guy that was talking again talked about the loss of lives, but he said the passenger count was mainly German and Spanish, with a few, few other nationalities on board. This was better. He didn't point out how many children or infants. He just said that the makeup of the plane was mostly German and Spanish people, and there were a few other mixed in as well. But again, it wasn't needed. There was no need to say all of that. Whoa, 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 whoa! Okay. Our truck lacks braking. That's alright. I just bumped the guardrail. So for that reason, I'm going to double check here. Yeah. We're putting that other axle down. That'll give us some extra braking power. You may say it has to do with the rain, but no, it didn't. I'm just wondering if, like, the automatic... I have it set for the retarder and all that to kick in on its own, you know, so I don't actually have to push buttons to do that. I don't have enough buttons on my controller to handle that. I'm going to say I have a slight minor regret right now in taking this. I mean, there's no... The dashboard's kind of plain, you know? No, that's not it. There it is. Yeah, none of that helps. But I'm gonna drive it anyways. Man, the Volvo had no problem stopping that. But anyways, yeah, it was better, but there still wasn't a need to announce that, you know, the nationality mix. It's just enough to say 200 some odd people lost their lives. That's it. That's all you need. The news does this all the time. And the worst case about it is when they're reporting on crimes such as shooting sprees. They tend to sensationalize things, which draws a lot of attention to the gunman. They draw all kinds of attention to the gunman. They look into his past. They talk to people that known him. They do all this deep delving and all that. And in short, the gunman gets exactly what he's looking for. Attention. That's why you do things like this. You're either just plain insane, which I'll grant is entirely possible, or you're looking to get attention. You're looking to make a statement. Something of that nature. Yeah? And by sensationalizing it far beyond what it needs to be, you're not only giving the gunman who perpetrated the crime, I think that's right, but you're also basically giving a compelling reason to other people to do that same thing to get the same effect. I mean, a lot of people may crucify me for this, but why do you think there have been so many school shootings since the very first one? It's because it drew a lot of attention. The news was all over it. Tragic story, but it was also, gravy. I don't know how the newscasters actually looked at it, but just the way they do things. And there have been a lot of people that have complained about things like this. I forget who it was, but even one guy said, if you want to help cut down on the chances that other people will do this, you need to stop sensationalizing it. You need to go in, state the facts, not delve into the gunman beyond, like, his name. And not blow the story up to more than what it is, because it's already tragic enough. And that there's no need for that. And you'll see it all the time when tragic things happen. The news needs to be what it once was, and that was simply to state the news. It's that simple. Ugh, this truck is a slug. Despite having a 560, which is on par thereabouts with the DAF, the DAF actually towed much better. Although I don't remember how heavy the load was I towed with the DAF, to be honest with you. I'd have to go back and look. But even still, this is only... Those are flashing red. Yeah. I didn't want to make the same mistake I've made before. The train almost always comes from the right. Yep, there it is. That's just cool. Yeah, see, again I went. Whatever. Anyone who may not believe me or whatever, just watch the news sometimes and listen closely to the things that they say. And the unnecessary descriptions that they'll give things, and the unnecessary things they'll report on and say about a news story. All you need to do is give the facts. You don't need to make it worse. There is nothing wrong with just saying a German airline plane, you maybe can name the company, maybe not, I don't know, crashed into these mountains today. 240 some odd people lost their lives, and then you go to the on-site reporter who gives more details about the rescue efforts and the investigation and whatnot. Then you come back and move on to the next story. It really just irks the hell out of me when I hear news reporters going on and on and on about how many this, and, you know, this many children, all that. Just, oh, I hate it. I got an itch. Yeah, getting a little bit better. So, that's that out of the way. You know, well, I could say a little bit more, but I'd be getting too political. But maybe, just maybe, I can sum it up. The term freedom of the press these days is abused. It really is. Just as many other Bill of Rights things, and even constitutional things, older laws and rules are truly abused these days. And it's real tragic that things like that have happened. Because if our forefathers could come and see the things that we've done and the way that we use the rules that they set for us now and the way that they're twisted and abused, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be too happy, despite the fact that a lot of them, you know, were back in a time where things were much more men were men and slave owners and all that. But enough on that. Let me get on to something else. In Eve, I'm doing something big right now. I am moving corporations. The corporation that I'm currently in, Faultline Industries, I feel has become a little too small. And it's a little too quiet for me. A lot of the people that were there when I joined and that I made friends and then I considered really good friends, and haha, and I really enjoyed talking to, well, most of them are gone. Shepherd Wolf, who's not on very much anymore, he's only on occasionally. Mana, who has fully dedicated himself to school, which is, of course, the right choice. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. But Mana, who's dedicated himself to school, which is the right choice, although I think he's working too hard. He's overloading himself, but you gotta do what you gotta do, yeah? So, best of luck to you, Mana, definitely for school, man. You know, I'm pulling for you. Also, another long-time stay, and the person that I used to give all of my... Oops. Oh, no, I'm not gonna make that. I knew there was a chance for that. I used to give all the blueprints I used to find to and everything. Knox has moved. Supposedly he's having real-life issues, though things he may have been talking about. He's moved to a different corporation, which, you know, is fine as well. You know, he's not there anymore. A lot of the other people that are on... a lot of the other people that are on, I'm turning anyways, I could have stayed. A lot of the other people are on at times that I'm not. Not many people get on comms anymore, and those that are on comms are often playing League of Legends and stuff, so they're in another channel. And comms are quiet, and by 9:30 in the evening my time, I'm the only one on. So I often spend a lot of my time in Eve online alone, and I don't get to do very much, and I can't PvP. You know, I don't trust myself to PvP alone very well. So in order to hopefully increase my chances of making more in-game ISK, getting back into PvP, going on roams, gate camps, things like that, as well as a couple other things, or at least one other thing I'm going to mention. Um, I just felt like it was time to move on. Sadly, a little bit of a blow to me was I had way too many ships. I had just been buying and gathering ships, which I really shouldn't have. And I had somewhere in the realm of like 85 ships. I've given more than, or about half of those ships away. I gave them all to one person at Corp, and he shared them with his brother, who, they're the two PvPers in the Corp. They're the two main PvPers in our Corp. They like to go out and roam and camp and try and kill people. So I know the ships that I've given them, which are PvP-orientated ships, will get used and will get blown up, and they won't just get sold. So that's really what I'm was looking to do there. I don't know why I did that. I'm acting like I have a ginormous trailer, and I don't. I have a slightly bigger than average trailer, but not ginormous. So I think I gave around 40 ships to them. All my basic ships, all my cruisers, battle cruisers, frigates, all of that I gave to them. To go and use and get blown up. And it was around somewhere in the realm of 1.5 billion worth of, and that was just the hulls. That's just the ship hulls. That does not include all the modules that are attached to them, which in a few cases also include faction modules. So there is that. But I'm still keeping... Oh yeah, I also gave away my Orca. Orca is an industrial command ship. I really don't feel like I'm going to need one for a long time. I can easily buy another one. It's worth about 710 million, just the hull now by itself. That doesn't include all the attachments, but there wasn't many attachments on it. So it wasn't a huge deal. But I just gave them all away. I was going to sell them, put them up on contract or fire sale, but I'm like, you know what? No. Because I don't want somebody to buy them, turn them around, and send them out and sell them. I bought these ships for PvP to get blown up. That's what I want them used for. And I'd rather see that somebody enjoy them, fly them, enjoy them, and get them blown up and blow things up with them, rather than them be sold to other people. So I gave them to Sativa, who shared them with his brother, and they are, and I've got their kill boards bookmarked, so I'll be looking for kills and losses of the ships in game, basically. So I'm looking forward to that. That still leaves me with, I think, 43 ships on my main account, 3 or 4 ships on my secondary, and 3 ships on my tertiary account to move. And it's not going to be cheap because I have battle cruisers, I got 3 battleships, a lot of cruisers, and a fair amount of frigates and destroyers. So that's going to be quite a bit to move. That's going to be a fair little bit to move. But I have what I need to move it. And sadly, I'm not going to be able to move it. I'm not going to be able to move it like I want. I won't be able to move it direct, which means I got to pack everything up and ship it to Jita, and then reship it back to. I got to have it reshipped to my new home station. I will not be shipping everything though. I will be attempting to take my Stratios by itself. Oops. Which one is coming? I will be attempting to take my exploration Stratios. Um, travel fit, which means I'm going to put warp core stabs down on this low slot, and just try and go from there. Because it would be nice to have my Stratios with me immediately. And that's it. I'm just taking my Stratios. So I can do exploration sites. I won't be able to do combat sites. I won't be able to do things like that. But I'll be able to at least continue to do relic and data sites. I may even forgo the Stratios and have the Stratios ship and take my Astero, which is a much more nimble ship and a lot faster. And I can travel fit that. And I can use my Astero until my Stratios get shipped. I think that actually sounds like a better plan, because the Astero is much harder to catch than the Stratios is. I think I'd rather move the Stratios. I'd much rather move the Astero. Because despite the fact I'll be jumping through entirely friendly territory, even though it's 33 jumps, it's all entirely friendly territory. I'm still going to have to deal with people that are roaming, possible gate camps. So with that being said, I'm also going to have a scout when I move my other two ships. Ooh. No, I'm fine. Wow. I'm already lacking in fuel. And I'm not even ready for a rest stop yet. Really? 419 kilometers, really? I'm not even quite ready for a rest stop yet. Well, this is just a flat rest stop. This isn't a fuel station. Well then hell, why are we going to slow down? We're coming back full speed. Well, I kind of surmised that the fuel tank on this truck would be much smaller. And I don't think I've been revving it higher because I'm not used to it. So I'm not used to shifting it as early. So I've been continuously going up to 2000 RPM plus. Plus, I like to cruise at 110. I don't know if this truck is capable of fuel efficiently cruising at 110. Okay, I mean, seriously. I have literally been getting close to 110, but not actually getting there. And I've already been pushing 1750 RPM. So there is that. I mean, we've made decent progress today. Somewhere in the realms of 500 plus kilometers. There's a gas station. Let's slow down that car. I'm really not quite ready for a rest stop yet, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to fuel up and push on a little bit more, I think. See what we have for a fuel tank. And take a look at the map before we move on. Yeah. We've got about 400 liter fuel tank, maybe. So we're getting pretty close to tired, but we're not fully tired yet. But I think we can make it at least here. I don't know if I zoom in more, do more. Rest stops up here. No. I think pushing it to there would be too far. Yeah. So we're going to go for the next gas station there. We should be fine. How to not pull out 101. Yeah, I've been averaging 54.6 liters of fuel per kilometer. Now, we're still a little early in the trip, but by now I'd be like low 40s, even high 30s in the Volvo. And again, I'm not saying that's the truck's fault. I've been going too high in the RPM to cruise safely. So yeah, I got a lot of big stuff going on, computer to clean, ships to package up. And the thing about packaging up ships is you lose your rigs. Rigs are things to help modify the ship. They give you bonuses, but they also give you detractions. And when you pack a ship, they get destroyed. They can't just come off. So I'm going to have to rebuy all of the rigs for the ships, which isn't too bad. And then I'll package them up with the Jita shipments. That's where they're going. I'm going from my home station in Vale to Jita, and then they're going to be shipped to my home station. That's going to be in Branch. Now the great thing about Branch and where I'm going is I'm not going to be shoehorned into a small area. I have 2 systems that I can officially use, another 2 systems that I've been given permission to use, and then a couple systems that are unrented that I use. And then I think I have a total of like 6 or 7 systems that I can do, and I still do really good by that. I still make between 1.5 and 2.5 billion per week doing that. However, I still kind of like get all pissy, I guess you could say. When I go through systems I can't use and I see a lot of sites up that aren't being done. Because that just irks me, those are sites that are going to go to people who don't even belong to our alliance. Those are sites that are going to go to people who or they're just going to sit there and rot, and just all kinds of things, and it just really bugs me. However, there is a risk-reward thing. I can get greater rewards, but I am taking a greater risk. I'll be traveling further. I won't have as much familiarity for a while with the systems. So there's more risk of getting out and getting home, running into gate camps, getting caught, things like that. And to make things more fun, I forget what I was going to say. It's just, I've just got a lot more area to roam, and that means a lot more opportunity to run into trouble. Oh yeah, this is, I said I was going to go. It was here. I was about to go right past it. So it's going to be interesting for a while. I may not even risk my Stratios. I may just take my Astero for a while, because Astero, although still expensive for the kind of ship it is, which is a frigate, it's much less expensive than the Stratios. So I may go until I get used to the systems and the dangers and where is more camped and where is less camped and all that. I'll be able to pardon me. I'll be able to just learn things with a little bit less risk. But that's going to be me done for this episode, folks. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next time, this is going to be One Big Bug, and I'm going to be signing out. Don't forget to like, fave, and subscribe, and I'll see you then.